Ever feel like you need 3 of you just to keep up? Between the cows, the kids, the meals, the milking, the garden, it's a lot. Today, I'm breaking down the simple system that finally brought peace to my calendar and my time. If you're a mom who dreams of that homestead life you see on Instagram, but you feel like you'd need an extra 12 hours in your day to make it happen, along with another set of hands, then Simply Living Homestead is for you. Hi, I'm Amanda, wife, mama, and milkmaid. I've learned the secret to simplifying my time and homestead to make room for the moments that matter. If you're ready to get time back in your day, manage your home with ease, and train your children in the way they should go, grab your pitchfork and planner, friend. Let's get to work. Hey friend, would you take a few minutes to write a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts? By doing so, you would let me know just how much you were enjoying the show and help get these episodes into the ears of women who are struggling with the same things you are. Go to simplylivingHomestead.com/review or tap that review button on your Apple Podcast player. I'm excited to hear from you. Hey friend, I just wanted to let you know, not sure what my coaching sessions are like, but you're curious to know. I have free 15-minute calls where we'll chat through what you're struggling with, whether home routines or time management, and you'll get a feel for how coaching with me works and whether it's a good fit. It's a simple, pressure-free way to explore what working together could look like. Go to simplylivingHomestead.com/chat to book today. Welcome back to the homestead. Today we're talking about how to manage both your home and farm calendars without overwhelm. We're going to talk about how to layer the different members of your family's schedules on top of each other and how to track projects so that you don't get lost. By the end, you'll know exactly how to use 4 simple tools that work together to organize your life. So, jumping right in, how do I juggle any given day? I have animals, meals, chores, homeschooling, keeping up with the housework. There's lots of things that are going on. My immediate family is a family of 3, my husband, and my son, but we also have an extended family right here on the property. We live on a family compound, and so it's one of those things where there's always a lot of movement, there's always a lot of things happening, and I used to feel like I was always constantly forgetting something. In all honesty, my life was a total disaster, and it took implementing these 4 systems for it to start turning around. Now, some of them make perhaps a bigger difference in the day-to-day, and some of them make a bigger difference in the longer time spans, such as months or years, for how you feel going about those. So let me briefly introduce you to these 4 tools. We have a Google Calendar for digital clarity, for appointments, for important reminders. We have a paper planner, which helps you plan your daily routines, your time zones, and your anchor routines. You have a command center, which is for visual communication for the whole family. It is the things that it is important for other people to know. And we have a Homestead Binder, which is your project planning center. It holds everything that's in your brain so you aren't constantly going, well, what did we discuss with that project? So we are going to talk about these 4 things today, and this is going to be a pretty high level. So this is where I plug that if you want to go deeper, if you want me to help you set this up, if you want this for your life, if you hear this and you're like, I need this, Amanda, I need this, hit me up. I have 15-minute free coaching where we just kind of quick go over if it's the right fit for you. You can kind of pick my brain a little bit, and we can talk about it and see if this is actually a good fit for you, if my style of coaching, and if we vibe. So 15 minutes, it's free. It's simplylivingHomestead.com/call. So /call will get you to the 15-minute booking page. And if you're like, no, I know I need this, Amanda, where do I sign up? It is simplyliving.homestead.com/coaching, and that'll take you to the 1 hour where we will spend an hour breaking down your day and getting you set up on the things that are going to make the most amount of difference in the immediate. And then we can spend time working on the things that are going to make a difference for you in the longer term as well, and give you this peace and calm that your days so desperately deserve. All right, so system 1, the Google Calendar. The Google Calendar is a calendar that you share with your spouse or children who have the age appropriateness or the ability to have their own like email address. So if they are of an age where they are running and doing stuff on their own, they need one as well. They need a Google Calendar. If you have littles, it's going to just be you and your spouse. And this calendar, you're going to have one for you and one for your spouse, and then one for your kid and one for kid number 2, and so on and so forth, if that child is able to manage their own appointments. If you are still managing their appointments, it goes in your calendar. Okay, so now that we have that clear, what is the calendar used for? Your Google Calendar, or whatever other digital calendar you want to use. I've heard of people using their Apple Calendar or their Outlook calendar. Those are fine too, as long as everybody is on the same calendar, right? Like, I don't believe that Google and Outlook will sync. I could be wrong. Tell me. Hit me up in the email. Go, Amanda, I had these sync. And I'll make a note down in the comments. But I think it is important to kind of set it up on the same shared system. Okay, so what are we actually putting in these things? You are putting in anything that has a hard start time, that you must be there at this time. So appointments, doctor's appointments, play dates where you've agreed on a time, parties, a grocery pickup if you have a specific time for that. Anything that has a hard start time is going to go into your calendar, because then what you're going to do is you're going to set up reminders for it. Depending on what the event is, you can set up a reminder for about 30 minutes. It takes me about 30 minutes to drive anywhere. It doesn't matter what I want to go to, where I want to go, what store, what doctor's appointment, anything. It takes me about 30 minutes, which is super convenient for me, because I then always plug 30 minutes in, and then I also plug an hour, because that hour goes off on my phone and I go, oh yeah, I had that event, and I have a half an hour to get ready, and then when that next alarm goes off, I had better be in the car, right? But like whatever is appropriate for you. In previous episodes, we have talked about your essential needs to help you feel like a person. The Google Calendar is going to also hold your essential needs. Things like, I need to work out. Well, it might be an appointment with yourself, but that's an appointment, right? Like, you have an appointment with yourself to show up and do a thing that if you don't do, you don't feel good if you don't do it. So that is what's going to go into your Google Calendar. Once your child becomes of an age that they can manage their own, you're going to set them up with their own. Now, why is this important? Well, you're going to share your calendar with your spouse and your kids. And the Google Calendar, which is the one I use, you can actually turn on and off the different calendars. So you can just see your appointments, but if you want to see what your kids are doing, or if you want to see what your spouse is doing, you can just open the sidebar and click on their calendar, and lo and behold, hey, look, they're doing these things. I need to schedule things a certain way because they have something going. So you definitely want to share it with your spouse. I have yet to get my husband converted onto this Google Calendar thing. And, you better believe this is something that I will be working on, trying to get him to do this, because he keeps just trying to rely on me putting it into my own calendar. And I'm like, no, you're managing your appointments. You're managing your time. You're managing all these things. Like, you need to have your own calendar. So we are doing it on one, but it would be so much simpler if we each had them and then we could see them, but toggle them on and off depending on our needs for the calendar. So by syncing your reminders and your reoccurring events, that's the other thing you can do in your Google Calendar, is if it's something that comes up on a regular basis, you can schedule it, right? Like, you want to have a date night every week, kind of pick a night, and then if when you're sitting down to do your weekly planning, you realize you have to shift it, you just go in and change that event. So just that one, not all events, not this and future events. It's just this one, and you can move it around in your calendar, and it's really nice. It's really nice. Okay, paper planner. We have also talked quite a bit about the paper planner. We're not going to deep dive that one today. If you want to learn more about the paper planner, I would recommend going back to episodes 33 and 34. That is going to give you a really comprehensive view of what the paper planner does, and what goes into it. I think 35 and 36 also touch on it a little bit. But your paper planner is used for mapping out your time zones and your anchor routines. And it is about keeping your days predictable, even when your life, farm life, your schedule, like whatever you're doing, is not necessarily predictable. And so it's not I have to have the same schedule every single day, or every single week I need to do the same thing on the same day. If that works for you, great. It really is. But when you sit down at the beginning of the week and you go through your paper planner, and I prefer a vertical format, so you kind of follow down the day and across the week. When you sit down at the beginning of the week and you kind of look at your week and you go, well, I have an appointment here, and I have a commitment here, and I have an essential need here. Those things I have to work around, because those are really important. Or I know that I am meeting with my mother on Tuesday to do a thing, right? Like, these events are taking place. So then you can shift the other parts of your life around to get the things done that you need to get done, and not feel like you are forgetting stuff. The planner holds it. Now, the thing I have often heard, like a lot heard about the paper planner, is that I'm scared about making a mistake, or I'm scared that my week is going to change. That's not what the planner is for. If you must, go get a whiteout and use it. Seriously. But really, that's not what the planner is for. The planner is for giving you a bird's eye view of your week, so you know what's coming up. And if your day does change, if something unpredictable does happen, like you get a flat tire and you miss your appointment and that throws off everything else, just breathe. You can start again tomorrow. Like, this isn't a death sentence. This isn't something where you're like, oh, well, I can no longer be spontaneous, because you can. If something happens, now you can go back and you can look and you can say, well, these are important things. How do I shift the things around it? And how do I do the thing that I want to do spontaneously? And you actually have that data in front of your face, and you can make those decisions, and you're not having to search in the back of your head for the thing you forgot. Okay? The third thing is the command center. This is the visual communication for the whole family. It is a family-facing space for quick updates. Mine has a corkboard for stabbing papers into, a whiteboard with dry erase markers, and a calendar, which also happens to be a dry erase calendar, but a paper calendar that has a pretty picture on it works just fine. That's what my mother uses. What you are going to do is, the command center can also hold a bunch of other things, like things that are our keys are right there at our command center. But your command center needs to be in a space in your home that everybody in the family is passing by it on a regular basis. So my mom's is in her kitchen. Mine is in my dining room, based on the layout of our houses. And they are set up in a way that The family can see the things that are written on it and check the things without you having to constantly micromanage their plans. So what this is going to do is it's going to reduce, once they get used to it being there and you are updating it regularly, it is going to reduce the amount of, Mom, what are we doing tomorrow? Or, Mom, can I go to so-and-so's house? And you're like, well, look at the board. Do we have anything planned? And, like they have a certain amount of autonomy, which is going to take load off of yourself. So your calendar, you should be listing on the calendar the things that are in your Google Calendar that are important for the whole family to know. So if it is something that it's an event, maybe you're going to Bible study and you'd want the family to know that, hey, I'm going to be gone Tuesday nights because I'm going to Bible study. That goes on your calendar. If someone has a doctor's appointment, even if it's not affecting the whole family, putting it there where it's like, hey, Jeremy has a doctor's appointment. So it's one of those things where it's this forward facing. Then the whiteboard is used. We use it for a lot of things. We use it for to-do lists for the day. It helps keep my family organized. If we're like, hey, these are our top 3 or 5 priorities. We'd like to get these things done. We use it for notes to ourselves of things that we really need to take care of in a short amount of time. You don't want things living on your whiteboard for a long period of time. Probably 2 weeks is the max I'd ever want to see something on the whiteboard. You're going to want to constantly be cleaning it off. And then your cork board, maybe you need to, stick your trash. We have big trash bins we pay the city for. And maybe you need your trash calendar that they send out at the beginning of the year. I hope I'm making sense. Maybe that needs to be pinned up. Or your city's newsletter, or a community newsletter, or things that would be important that you're like, I want to save this, but I need to be able to see it. Those things will go on your corkboard. Sometimes if I buy something for someone else, or if someone else buys something for me, the receipt will get pinned to the corkboard because I need to pay that person back, or I need to give them the receipt. So sometimes that goes up there. Okay, so that's what your command center is used for. You are going to reset that at the beginning of each month. The last system that we want to put in place, and this one, you want to get those first 3 that I said, the Google Calendar, the paper planner, and the command center. You want to get those set up fairly early into your journey of systemizing your time. The Homestead Binder is something that can wait a little bit. I am actually still in the process of putting together mine and making it really nice and testing things, because I do have a dream of someday having the option of selling all the parts to it so you can fill it with your things, and having printable papers that you can stick into it so you're not constantly having to go and create the documents to actually go into this. So I am working on my own. This is something I don't have totally set up yet, but it is something that I'm working towards. And this is the Homestead Binder. This is your project command center. It holds your projects, your to-do lists that are running to-do lists, or things where you're these things need to happen at location. This would not, just as a side note, these would not be your to-do lists in your house unless you're doing a remodeling project of some sort. It's going to hold animal logs and notes. And if you listen to last week's episode, it can hold your pantry list, your restock list, your what's in my freezer list, and notes that would relate to any of those projects or receipts and to-do lists and that sort of stuff. What it does is it keeps all of the details in one spot so you can close those mental tabs. You are no longer holding on to, the chicken house needs this done and this done and this done and this done, right? You're going to go into your Homestead Binder, you're going to put a folder in, and you're going to start a like a to-do list of these projects need to be done. You might break those down and say, I need these materials for this part of the project. Like anything that you're going to do, any information, like maybe you've made a decision on something, go ahead and put it in your Homestead Binder. And then if everything goes into that Homestead Binder, you can pick it up. Your husband can pick it up. If you have a neighbor or a friend or somebody picking it up, you can go, hey, here's all of our notes on it. And it's an easy handoff if you're ever sick or gone. If you want to spend time writing down how you do things on your homestead, how things are performed, that's a really great place to keep it because then everything's in one space. At some point, your binder is going to get too full. If it does, you will transfer some of those files into an actual filing cabinet where, you'll label a folder and put it in. But the things that go into your filing cabinet are the things that you're not using. Maybe you're done with that project, or maybe you've had a stash building of specific animal records, like how many eggs you gathered each day, and you've filled that form out faithfully, and you've amassed 6 or 8 of those pages, and you can take all those pages out and put them in the egg records of your actual filing cabinet. The Homestead Binder is kept out by your command center, most likely. Could also be kept in your office, depending on how your home is set up. Could be kept somewhere else, depending on how your home is set up. Like, put it somewhere where you're going to be able to access it, and then keep everything that you're making like a decision on there. Keep it organized so you're not having to sort through 6 different projects to find the one you want. I would recommend a 3-hole punch, and even just like punching a manila like folder that you would actually use in a filing cabinet, punching 3 holes in that and then sticking it in your binder. And then you can actually open the binder up with that folder in place, and you can like stick all of your papers inside it, so then you can just like kind of tab through it, and it's really nice. Okay, so those are the 4 systems that I have set up that help me manage my time so that I can run 2 businesses essentially. I can still homeschool my kids. I can do these things that if I just ran down the list of everything that I'm doing looks pretty insane. And I know that if you're listening to this, you can feel like your life is pretty insane too. But these systems really have saved my life in more ways than one. And if you would like me to help you set yours up so that you're not trying to do this on your own, I really would encourage you to book the free call with me and just chat about it. Say, here's where I'm at. Do you think you can help me? And I would absolutely love to be talking with you. That is simplylivingHomestead.com/call to book that free call. And it's like 15 minutes long. And we'll just chat and see if we can actually find a way to bring a little breathing room to your life. I would encourage you to set up one of those first systems that I suggested, your Google Calendar or your Command Center, or honestly, I would really encourage your planner. The planner is the thing that made the most difference. The Google Calendar and the Command Center really did just support that. If you set up one of those tools, I'd love if you would come over to our free Facebook community and share it with us. I would love to see it. I'm sure other people that are in that community would love to see your picture of your progress. The community can be found at simplylivingHomestead.com/community. That'll take you to the Facebook page, and you'll just have to answer a couple of really quick questions and you're in, and we would just love to have you over there. Now you know the 4 tools that keep my life running smoothly: the Google Calendar, the paper planner, the Command Center, and the Homestead Binder. Simplicity works when tools connect. You've got this, friend. One small setup at a time. We'll see you next week. Hey neighbor, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds and share this episode with a friend who is knee-deep in their own homestead? Also, please leave me a rating or a review on Apple Podcasts. It thrills me to know that this podcast is helping you. Keep watching those sunsets, friend. I'll meet you back here on the homestead soon for another episode. See ya!